Hello my friends, so we've been on our break again, the British tea alarm staff break in the staff room, and we've been having a good old gossip like we do, the three of us, sometimes four, depends. Anyway, we were talking about funny things that have happened in care homes. Now, we're not joking about dementia because it's obviously very serious, very stressful. However, when you're a carer, you take what you can get. I'm going to tell you a few things that have happened over the years, and I think you might find them funny, but you probably shouldn't. We were working nights the one day. This was probably about 12 years ago, something like that. That home's closed now, unfortunately. I'd still be there, otherwise I loved it there. It was a residential home. So the people that were in there they did have dementia, but it was a pleasant type of dementia because we didn't have the staff to deal with, really severe cases of dementia. So it was quite pleasant, really. There was a couple of nights we had some fun, honestly. We had to get a urine sample off one of the residents. Now, if you're in the UK, you'll probably know the urine bottles. They're like that, about that thick. They've either got a white lid on or a red lid on. And obviously you pee in it, don't you? To send a sample off to the doctors. So we had quite a few of these bottles, reserves for when you needed them. So we had this bottle on the table so it'd remind us that we needed to get this sample. And my friend, Alison, I'm going to call her Alison because she won't care, or Ali, so that's who it is, and Zainab, she was one of the ladies. And we went very often on together, and we just had a laugh the whole night. It was great. It was busy, but, we loved working together. So Ali was drinking a bottle of apple tango, it was. And Zainab said, "Do you know what? That really looks like piss in there. So it really looks like somebody's strong piss." Anyway, this sample bottle was there, and we all looked at each other. So Zainab wrote on the side of the bottle, like the name of the resident, his sample, his date of birth, and all the rest of it, so it looked legit. We put some of this tango in this bottle. We were all tittering to each other. Anyway, the day staff come on the next morning. Oh, that was it. We scraped a bit of the inside of a banana skin because one of us was eating a banana on our break, and we scraped the inside off. So it was like all bits, and we mixed it all together so it properly looked like somebody got a really bad urine infection. It looked horrible. So Zainab went in and she's like, "Right, we got the urine sample," and she's like this, shaking it around. And she's like, "Oh, it looks like he's got a dose of something in his urine." So she goes like this, takes the top off, goes, smells it, and then all the staff in there waiting for their handover, and they were like, "Oh my God!" And then she just went and necked it and drank the lot, and they were all, "No!" And they were absolutely horrified, and we were just stood outside the office absolutely pissing ourselves laughing. It was yet to be there, but it was so funny. It was such a good gag, and we had them right. We had them all. God, it was so funny. So funny. That was one thing. It's no disrespect to the resident at all. It's not. It's no disrespect to him. He wouldn't mind anyway. He's ace. Another nighttime incident. very often on a Friday, the social services would decide that they were going to put a resident into care for the weekend because they didn't know where to put them. So they'd just barefaced lie. They'd say, oh yeah, they can walk, and they'd come to us and they were totally off their legs. They couldn't walk at all, so we had to hoist them, that sort of thing. This one fella comes. He's mildly aggressive, they said. So anyway, he comes in, nighttime falls. I want to get out, I want to go home. Now this isn't unusual for somebody who's got dementia, any stage of dementia. So usually you can calm them down, and if you get a bit of their history, you can say, you know, your daughter's coming to pick you up tomorrow, she knows you're here, and you can, you know, you get the daughter's name. This is just an example, you know, your daughter, whatever her name, Muriel, is going to be here tomorrow to pick you up. So it's only for tonight, don't worry. He wasn't having any of it. He wasn't having any. He got hold of one of the chairs, one of the dining chairs, was whacking it against the glass. Obviously it was safety glass, but he was like, oof, oof, really trying to get through the window. He was hell-bent on getting out. And we were just panicking. It was like a scene of Jason and the Argonauts. We were hiding behind seat cushions off the armchairs, like defending ourselves as you know, they were shields trying to stop this elderly, weak, feeble man battering the hell out of us, because he shouldn't have been there. He should have been in a secure wing or something. But no, we'll take him there. We need to put him somewhere for the weekend. That'll do. He was so bad. And he was going in all the other residents' bedrooms. He was awful. And you know what we had to do in the end? We had to call the police, and the police came, and he calmed right down then, and he went to bed. Talking of going to bed, we had to do hourly rounds, checking all the residents every hour, making sure that they're all alive or well, you know, no issues, and most of the time they were. This one morning, the 7 o'clock drinks round, we took a cup of tea round in the morning. So those that wanted one, those that were awake, they had a cup of tea. Not everybody did, but I snuck my head round this one room. And we had walkie-talkies, because it was a big place at night when there's only 3 of you. So I went in this room, and I stuck my head round, and I says, Ali, Zainab, you've got to come and see this. And I said, I can't tell you. I said, you're going to have to come and see it. So they were like, for God's sake, you know, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, you know, I've got to finish up this and do that. Anyway, they came to me. I said, like, I'm in bedroom, I know, but, oh, shut up. I'm in bedroom 2, you've got to come. So anyway, they came, and I was nearly wetting I was trying so hard not to laugh. And this one lady had gone and got in bed with another lady, and the lady whose bed it was, she was saying to her, now, shh, settle down. And she was like pushing her down to go back to sleep, and she was getting in to go back to sleep. It was so innocent. It really was. It wasn't like anything sexual. She was just confused and got back into the wrong bed. But at 7 o'clock in the morning, you had another hour of your shift to go. It was just so funny. Honestly, I've never laughed so much. Those night shifts were amazing. But it closed, so I had to get another job. So I went on care in another place, and it wasn't half as much fun. It really wasn't. It shouldn't have been fun. It's a serious thing, isn't it? Yeah, don't be telling me that I should have been having a good time at work, because that's unforgivable. But we have had some funny incidences there as well. This actually was a dementia unit. And some of the things you see, and you just look around, you're thinking, it's normal. It's normal. So you're trying to find a pair of shoes for somebody. I can guarantee in probably 80% of those bedrooms there is only going to be one shoe or slipper in the bedroom, and it'll be odd. Honestly, every single bedroom will have one odd piece of footwear. There's a resident and he goes round every bedroom, well, there's a couple, and he just takes things out of the bedroom and you'll find them in the most random places. But if it hasn't got a name on it, you don't know whose it is. So you've got like a massive pile of odd things and shoes and clothes that you've no idea who they belong to. You just know it's off that unit and no idea who they belong to. The best one, well, it's all funny, but it shouldn't be, but it is. There was a lady and she was in bed watching telly, and I said to her, "You all right?" I said, you look a bit confused." She said, "I can't see." I said, "What, because of the foot of the bed?" Because they were like hospital beds and they were, you know, quite big. She said, "No, I've got my glasses." So I saw 3 glasses cases on the side. So I thought, oh, one of them must be her glasses. So I opened the first one, that was empty. Opened the second one, that was empty. Opened the third, and inside was 2 arms off a pair of glasses. No frame, just a set, 2 arms from glasses. Now, you really couldn't make it up, could you? You really couldn't make it up. Another incident, this is when I was working in the kitchen. Now, at meal times on the units, they have 2 buckets. One bucket has got food waste in, and the other one has got dirty cutlery in. Now, it wasn't unusual that these things got mixed up, and sometimes you'd find teaspoons in with the food waste, and then when you tip the waste in the waste disposal, it blocked the waste disposal up because the teaspoons would get stuck inside it, which used to bloody annoy me. Anyway, I got my daughter a job there, doing the washing up at night, just for 2 hours after college. So she hadn't been there long, she'd probably been there about 3 weeks. She rang me up. She says, "Mum, I don't know what to do." I was like, "Why? What's happened?" She said, "Well, I was tipping the waste in the waste disposal and there was a pair of glasses in there." She said, "They're totally ruined." I said, "Oh, what unit were they off?" She said, "Oh, the dementia unit." I was like, "Oh, right." So I said, "Well, just ring down and ask if anybody's missing a pair of glasses." And nobody knew whose glasses they were. So there were a pair of glasses gone down the waste disposal, totally wrecked. They were like, one arm was there, one arm was there, the frame, they were totally wrecked. So that was that one. One I had when I was in the kitchen in the waste. Poured it in. It started making a noise when something hard is in there. It sounds horrendous. So anyway, it was spinning round. I had to stop it and turn it off and have a look what was in the underside of it. Took the top off, had a look, rummaged around, and do you know what it was? It was a pair of dentures, or the top set of dentures. Now, I didn't have any gloves on or nothing. Keeping in mind I've worked in care for a long time, so, you know, I think I've seen it all. And I took these, I just went, "It's teeth!" and slapped them. The chef nearly had heart failure. She's like, "How can you touch them?" I said, "Well, it is what it is." So that was another incident. Oh, another funny one. The units had like internal windows. So you'd have like the lounge would be here, and then the corridor inside would be here. So you could see into the lounge, the kitchenette area. So I was walking past there the one day, and I looked through and saw in the kitchen a resident. This was actually during the night with the 3 girls in that home that closed. And this resident was in the kitchen. He had the kettle and he was having a piss inside the kettle. Because this was a residential unit, everything was there so the residents could make themselves a drink if they wanted to. And this old boy was having a piss in the kettle. On this unit, every week there was someone that would have a UTI, urine infection, and I was like, no fucking wonder they're having urine infections if he's pissing in the kettle. So the kettle had to be locked away from that point. Yeah, so many incidences. I could write a book on these. It's so funny. I've written a load of stuff down, so I'm just gonna have a look. I haven't missed anything off. Oh, this is another incident, but it was with another member of staff. This is the nights working there. Now, fire safety is very, very important in a care home. Very important. We always had very good fire training. My cup of tea, my tea alarm, tea. So we had the regular fire training. It was always, you need to have your fire, you need to have your, your fire triangle. You need to make sure there's no fuel near any heat sources and all the rest of it, and what can cause a fire, your gas, your electrical fires. You had to be careful, which is fair enough. It's high risk. I'm obsessed about it now. Frightened to death of anything catching fire in my house. I even sleep with a hammer on top of the wardrobe in case the window won't open to smash my way out. And you only do it in the corner. It won't work if you smash it in the middle. All these little things. So, anyway, one night we could smell gas. So, me and Jill, she won't mind me using her name either. Me and Jill were walking round the home trying to find out where this gas smell was coming from. We were shitting ourselves. Anyway, walking round. I can smell it here. I can't smell it up there. No, it's not there. It's just here. So we could smell it by the door, which was coming from the laundry. So it looks like the smell of gas was coming from the laundry. So where it was strongest, we were smelling, and there was a door. And I said to Jill, I'm going to open this door. Make sure you don't turn on the light, because a little spark could make the gas catch fire. So Jill was like, right, well, I'm going to open the door now. So she gets on the handle, pushes the handle down, peeks in. Now, bearing in mind that this fire could go if a spark, So she opened the door quietly, calmly, slowly. The fucking light's on already! Oh my God, I'll never forget it. It was so funny. It's just the way she said it, because she's like 67, and it's the way she said it. The fucking light's on already! Anyway, there wasn't a fire, there wasn't gas, it was just like a bit of fumes from the laundry floating round. The dryers are gas. So. It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh, recently we had a new trainee cleaning. She was 22. Very shy, very quiet. She was on with me, training with me the one day. Showing her, how to mop a bedroom and how to mop, use the mop and all the equipment and the cloths and the chemicals and all that. And she went and worked with another cleaner the next day, training with her, this time on a different unit. And she said to this other cleaner that I hadn't taught her how to wring out a mop. You are? How to wring out a mop. You ever heard such shit in your whole life? You're 22 years of age and you don't know how to wring out a mop. I worry about this country sometimes. And this sort of thing happens a lot with the youngsters. No idea. All the gear, but no idea. Anyway, I'll try and think of some more things, and that's it for today.